Hello and welcome to the part 3 of this project. Let's continue and add a few more functionality to this project. So yesterday we added this drag and drop functionality, and today we will add functionality for these buttons: setting, delete, move up, move down, and this duplicate and this component list button. So let's see the final project, how it is working there. So if I click on this settings button, let me just clear it. If I click on this settings button, it add a form that we use for the installing this this component or any other component, and if I click on this button, it add the component list back. So this is the functionality we will add. So let's go to this index.js file, and in our settings click. So when we click on this settings, what we want, first we want to remove this component list. So let's find the component list. Okay, this is inside the component, so let's get this component list. Document.query selector, and we want to get components, and if we get the component list, we will simply remove it and it will be deleted from the component. Next thing, we want to add a style form here, similar to this one. If I click here, it's add a style form. So same thing, we want to add it here. So in here, let's say, okay, before that, where we want to add it. So if I just inspect it, we will remove this component and we will add the new style form right after this preview button. So we need to select this preview button so we can add style form after this one. So let's get the preview button. Now this preview button is inside sidebar, and then we have this preview button, and if we find the preview button, what we want to do, we want to get a style form UI and insert after this. So we say prevent preview button dot after we want to add a child node or a element. So we need that UI in the form of element. So let's go to the util file. We have added these functions like getting the component UI or getting the section UI. Similarly, we will add a new function, and that function will get dynamic CSS form UI, and it will have this form UI, and I have already prepared this UI. I will just copy and paste. It's simple HTML, so I will just copy and paste it here. So okay, it's a simple HTML, nothing fancy, and we don't want to return this HTML string, we want to return the HTML node. So for that, we have this function get HTML from a string, and we will give it form UI. Okay, let's add this function on window dot get dynamic CSS form UI. Now let's go to the index file. In here, after this previous button, we want to add this UI. So window dot get dynamic CSS form, save it. Now we can test it. Let's see, open the console. If there is any error, we will see. Add section, I click on the setting button. Okay, see, it has added this dynamic form, and if I click on one more time, okay, it is adding multiple times. We don't want that. Okay, so what we do first, let us see what is the class for it. This is a style form. So once we find the site, this preview button, let's get the style form UI. This is style form, and if we find the style form, it means if a style form is already there, we want to remove it. We don't want multiple style form, so we will just remove it, and after that we will add the form back here. Let's see, add a section, click on settings. Okay, it's there. Click on second time. Okay, it's only one time added, so not the multiple time. Now let's add functionality for this component list. So when I click on it, I want this this component list back. So for that, let's go to the, okay, we can just minimize it. Now let's check the ID or class for this. It has let me just increase the width. So it has a component list as a class. Let's add a event listener. So above the settings, what we want, if event dot target dot class list dot contains, the class name is components list. So if we click on this button, what we want to add this list back. So we need to get this UI. So let's go to the index.html. We have, where is it, options. We want to add this one, right? So we want to add this component list back. So this is the component list. Let's just copy this and let's go to the util file, add one more function that we can just reuse it. Get components list UI, and let's say components list. It is this HTML in the string form, but we don't want to return it. We will return window.getHTML from a string, and we will give it component list string, and then it will return it. And let's add this function on the window so we can access in our file. Let's go to the index file. Now inside the component list, first thing, let's say I had section settings, this is here, and then I want to replace this form and add the component list back. For that, first we need to remove this style form. So let's get the style form. Document.query selector style form, and if we find the style form, we will remove it. So style form dot remove, and once it is removed, we want to get this preview button, because right after this preview button we will add this component list back. So let's get the preview button. Document.query selector, it's inside the sidebar, and then we have the preview button. Add a space, it's not in one div. So if we find the preview button, what we want is, we want to add preview button dot after, we will add window dot that function, we will call it, and it will return that UI. And one more thing, let us test it and then we will fix this one. So if we add a section, click on settings, there. If I click on the component list, it will add, but if I click it second time, it will add one more time. So same problem that we had with the settings button. So what we want to do, we want to just remove if we have this component list already in the DOM. So this is the preview button we had after it, but before that, let's get the component list. And if we find the components, we will remove it, so we don't add a component list multiple time. I think this name, okay, now it's fine. I'll just increase the width here, add a section, style form, okay, click component list, it's back there, drag and drop, okay, it's working fine. If I click on the image settings, it add a style form, yeah, it's working fine. If I click here, it's same, like it will remove it and then add it again for each component or section. And if I click on this component list button, it will add it again. Let's say add top, add component, yeah, it's working. So two buttons are working fine, the settings and this component list. Let's move to the next, which is the delete button. And for delete button, we already have the event handler here. Now what we want for this delete button, let me explain how it works. So see, each component or each section have its own delete button, okay. So what we need to do is, let's say I want to delete this component, Now this is the delete button for the component. We need to find the closest target type. For each component or section, it will have this attribute data target type. Value doesn't matter because we just want to delete that particular div or the section or the component with this attribute. So first we need to find it. So let's get in here, closest target, because this is what we want to select. So we say event dot target dot closest, and we want to select anything which has this attribute data target dot type. And if we find it, closest target, what we want to do, we just want to remove it from here. So it will just delete that completely. Okay, let's try it. Add section, add one more section, add component there, and there. Now let's say I want to delete this image component. If I click here, it's gone, but the section is there because we just deleted the component itself. If I delete this section, it's gone. Let's say I add one text, one button, and one form text. If I delete each of them, let's say I delete this button is gone, input element gone, and the text is gone. Same if we click on this delete, the section is gone. Let's just keep deleting and see what happens. I delete it. Okay, now we don't have anything on the page to add section back. So what we need is this thing. When we just load it for first time, we see this section, and we want to add it back if there is no section on the page, because when we delete all the sections, we want this button back on the page. So what is the UI for it? Here's the placeholder UI. So, and let's add a section. Now for this one, what we have to do, we have to get all the sections on the page. So we'll use this selector. Let's get all the sections. Okay, I will call it sections list document.query selector all. We want to select all the element with this attribute. So data target type, and now this time we need to use the value here because we don't want to select let's say I add a button, I don't want to select the item. Item means the component. I just want this section only, because if we don't have a section, we cannot add any component. So we get all the sections using this selector. And let's say if there is the section list dot length. So if section list dot length means if it is 0, then what we want to do, we want to get the main, because inside the main we want to add the placeholder back. So let's get the main document.query selector. The class for this one is main, and then we say let's add a check here. So if we found the main, then what we want to do, main.inner HTML. First thing, just clean it so there is nothing inside it, and then main.append child. Now we need to get the node. See this append child expecting a node. Node means a HTML element or anything which is really a UI HTML. So for that we need this placeholder UI. We can grab it from index.html, which is here, and what we will do is go to the util file, and we will add one more function. Let's say it's a function get placeholder UI, and this one, let's say placeholder, and this is the UI for it, but we don't want to return this HTML string. We will call the function window.getHTML from a string, and we will pass its placeholder, and let's add this placeholder on the window object so we can access it. Now let's go to the main file, the index, and in here we will call window.getPlaceholder UI, save it. Now let's check. So if I add section, add one more section, add some component in each section. Now if I delete this section, this component, this section, and now if I delete this section, it should add that placeholder back. So if I delete it, see, now we have this add section back. and if I click on add section, the functionality is still working. So we have added this placeholder UI back, but there is one thing I will show you. So let's say I have two sections. I added one component here, one button here. Now what is happening right now is if I delete this component, it will go and get the section list and then run this code again. We don't want that, because let me show you. If I come in here and say console log section list, so every time when we delete anything on the page, it will run this code, but we don't want that. Add section, add button. Now if I delete it, see the section list, it is just running this code. We don't want this to run. We only want this one when we delete a section. Only that time we will just remove the section and we will have empty this section, and then we can add this placeholder back. So I will add a check in here. Before that, let's go to the closest target and we can get the target type. So closest target dot get attribute, and we want to read what? Data dot target dot type. This is the value we want to read. Okay, and in here if we say if target type, let's change the name, target type not equals to, if it is not equals to section, we don't want to run the next line of code. We will just return from here. Now if I add a section, add one more section, add component. Now if I delete the component, this log will not appear on this console. If I delete it here or delete it here, it's not. But if I delete this section, the section node list is there, because this time the type is not this, not anything. This is the true, like this is the section, so it will be a false. It will go to the next line and execute this code. If I delete it here, it is back here, so it's working fine. So delete is working. Now the next is move up and move down. Okay, let's go to the move up. Now for the move up, let's check the add one more section and let's inspect this one. So if I check this move up button, see the move up button is inside what? Inside this one. So it is still same inside this this div which has this attribute. So we'll need this closest target, so we can get the main container of this button. Like this button belongs to this div, so we can move it up or down based on the button click. So let's get this one. Now we have already selected in the delete section. The same way we will need this for our move up. So let's say we get the closest target, and if we find the closest target, what we want to do next? So let's say if I find the new target, okay, when we find a new target, we need to get the previous sibling, because this is the previous sibling, and if we find the previous sibling, then we will just move this one above this one. Okay, so if I come in here, let's say previous element, and this one we can get using the closest target dot previous element sibling. I will get it, and if we get the previous element, what we want to do? We want to go to the closest target dot parent node, and then I'll call a function insert before. Now the insert before will pass it the closest target and then the previous element. So what is happening here is that we get the closest target first. Once we have it, we go and find the previous sibling, which is this one, and then we go to the closest target, which is this, and we get its parents. Parents is this main or whatever its parents is, and then we insert before. This is the value we want to insert, and this is the before element that we want to add. So before this we will insert this closest target. Let's test this. If I save it, add a section, add one more section, this takes text, and this is button. Now this button section I want to move up, click here. Okay, it's not working. Let's check what is the error in here. It's move up. Okay, let's check the console. Okay, move up is there, but closest target, I think it's not there. Let's check. Add section, add one more section, take text, take image, and move up. Okay, we get the closest target, but I think something is wrong in here. So this is a previous element sibling. Okay, I think spelling is wrong. Sibling. If I add a section again, one more section, it takes text, image. Let's move this up. Okay, now it is working. So it was the spelling mistake. If I click again, there is no nothing, like in here we say parent node insert before this one, there is no previous element, so we cannot add it. It's working fine. Now let's add a same functionality for the move down button. So if we go to the move down, we will need all these things same. I'll just copy and paste. It's just the same thing. A small thing will change, which is the parent node insert before. Instead of finding the previous, we will find the next. So in here we will say this is the next element, and we'll change the name. And one thing will change, insert before, it will go after this next element. So okay, now let's test this. Add section, add one more section, add text, add image. Now if I click on move up, okay, it's there. If I click on move down, it's back. So move up and move down is working. It's up, down. Now let's add a component and test it for the component, because the same structure for every component and section, it should work there. So let's add a button in here and form text. So if I want to move this form element at the first place, click on move up and first, and I want to move this button up, I can say move up, see, and let's say I want to move this image up, it's there. So these functionality is working. Setting, delete, move up, move down. Now we have one more, the clone. Now for the clone, what we can do, let's go to the duplicate in here, and in here we will get the closest target same, because we need to find the closest. Why we need to? So if we check it again, this again duplicate is inside this target. Where is it? Yeah, this one. This is inside this one. So if I want to duplicate just an image, or if I want to duplicate the entire this target section, I can duplicate that as well. So we need to find anything closest which has this attribute. So same thing, we need to get the closest target, and if we find the closest target, what we want to do, we want to clone it. Okay, so we will say closest target dot clone node, and give it a value true. It will clone everything inside it. And if we have the clone, what we want to do, we will just add it. So we say closest target. So when we clone it, I just want to add it right after this this target element. So closest target dot insert adjacent element, and I want to add it after it end. I want to add this clone. Okay, let's see if it is working. Add section, add text, add one more section, add image. Now let's say I want to duplicate this image. Click on here. See, the image is duplicate. I can delete it again. And if I want to duplicate this section,